get to come stand up on these stages and interact with you guys. And this is a vulnerable moment sometimes. We're talking about real stuff, and I want to be vulnerable and real with you guys. Are you guys cool with that? Is that cool? Awesome. So listen, for those of you who have been to a panel before, I don't normally do moderated panels. I really like talking to you guys directly. Even if you ask the same questions sometimes over and over again. I'm happy to indulge you in that because that's why I'm here. We're at a convention so that we can all hang out together and get to the bottom of shit, right? So, without any further ado, I'd like to open it up to any questions that anybody has. There's a microphone here, there's a microphone there. I'm going to start up and literally was just being myself more often than not. Shazam is a close second. And even though he's a 14-year-old child in the first movie and he's roughly 17, 18 in the second, I have always been a Peter Pan man-child who loves fun. Also, I'm an actor, and as an actor, we're constantly being asked to just use our imagination. So it really does kind of keep you young. If you lean into that, you can really kind of allow that to keep you in that younger space. And I've just always been that guy anyway. So when it comes to playing Billy Batson, what I tried to do, I tried to age him up a little bit in the second movie, because from 14 to 17 is a pretty marked difference in anybody's life, particularly a young boy. And then beyond that, just trying to look at, well, what do 17-year-olds, how do they act right now? What do they do? What do they think? And how do they talk? And some of you have 17-year-olds, or you are 17-year-olds, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, like in the first movie, for example, the floss dance was all the rage. I was like, well, I'm gonna floss, and then that made it in the movie, And in the second one, I just tried to embody what I thought a 17-year-old today would kind of his attitude and the way he carries himself. So that's what I did for that one. Anyway, next, great question. Next question. All those stories, exactly as charming as Flynn Rider can. Chuck would also have incredible stories, but Chuck would be more chill about it all. Flynn would be, I think, kind of running the table with all the storytelling. Am I wrong? I think I'm right on that one. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Nice sweatshirt. How you doing?
My name is Hannah. I'm from Indiana as well.
Hannah from Indiana. I love the rhyming in that.
I was wondering what it was like to work in She Loves Me. How did Broadway go?
How many Broadway fans out there? Did anybody see She Loves Me? Did you see it in the theater? Just give me a yip if you've actually seen me on stage live on Broadway. Okay, so thank you, I appreciate it. That's not an easy thing to do, by the way, to travel all the way to New York and get those tickets that are always way too damn expensive to go watch us on stage. It means a lot to me that you guys have done that. So, She Loves Me. What was that experience like? Is that what you're asking? It was incredible. I grew up since I was a little kid doing theater. I love theater. I think it's where if you want to be an actor, go do theater. Go do theater, go do more theater, go do more theater. Don't just be one of these people who's like, you know what, I've never done this acting thing my whole life, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Don't do that. Actually give a shit about it and then go do it if you can. So I loved doing theater all through growing up, and I always dreamed about obviously doing film and television and stuff, but also doing Broadway. So I did a show called First Date, which was that was the first Broadway show I did. And I had only done that show by the time that I got offered She Loves Me. First I would say that I don't know what it's like to be a child actor. I mean, you're 16, you're getting into, I started when I was 18 in film and television. I was doing theater, again, I cannot say this enough. Theater. If you want to be an actor, go act, go learn what it means to be in a scene, with scene partners, staying present, being in a character, taking direction, understanding how to break down the writing of any piece, whatever, all that stuff. These are the pillars of what it means to go and be an actor in any other medium. At 18, so I'd done theater a long time, then at 18, I was blessed that somebody saw me in a community theater play, and she got me to a manager who got me to a casting director who got me to an agent, and all of these doors just very supernaturally blew open for me, and I'm so grateful. God blessed me in all these incredible ways. To the fact that now I'm a superhero and I'm standing on stages like this, answering questions from lovely people like you, right? So, but I would say, because I don't know what it's like to be 16 trying to do this, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't. If I were you, I would just keep working on theater, keep working on really grounding yourself in the craft of it. And then at 18, when you really have your kind of I don't know. I mean, I don't know that any of us is really an adult at 18, to be perfectly honest. I don't know why they trust us with that. But at least then, in the eyes of the law and your ability to be autonomous and go live your life and go on auditions and all that stuff and get a job, all that, you know, these are all very important pieces of going and trying doing that hustle. So I would say give yourself until 18 before you're doing anything. If you are a parent out there and you have a child who is super talented and precocious and is outgoing and can remember things and actually legitimately has a talent to do this stuff, I'm not saying you're an evil person for going and doing that or encouraging them. Now, there are healthy ways of going and doing that, and there are unhealthy ways of doing that. So please don't do the unhealthy thing. I leave it up to you to figure out what that is. There's a lot of things involved in that. But most importantly, go to therapy. If you want to be the best actor that you can be, you go to therapy. You want to be the best plumber you can be, you go to therapy. You want to be the best you, the best way to be the best anything is to be the best you. And the best way to be the best you is to figure out all of the shit that is going on inside of your heart and mind that you're unaware of. And guess what? We are all so unaware of so many things, guys, that are going on in our hearts and minds, and that's okay. That's called trauma. That's normal. We all have that going on in us. Every single one of us needs at least a little bit of therapy. Some of us, you know what? I think I liken mental health to dental health. It's all very much about preventative medicine, okay? If you brush and floss your teeth on a regular basis, guess what? You don't need a root canal 2 years on. If you brush and floss your mind on a regular basis, you don't have mental breakdowns like I had when I turned 37 and literally didn't want to live anymore, which is what led to me writing that book and talking about that on Found and all that kind of stuff. But I really suggest you don't wait until you're 37 to have a mental breakdown and not want to live. I suggest that you go and talk to your friends and family first, allow them to buoy you, tell you that you are worthy of getting therapy and investing in yourself and loving yourself, because that's the most important ingredient. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, okay? Are you loving yourself?
I am.
Good.
Myself.
Good. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Thank you for that question. There's plenty of times where I look at my life and I think I've failed. I mean, part of the reason I had a total breakdown 6 years ago was because no matter, despite all of the cool shit that I got to do, getting to be Chuck, getting to be Vandrel, getting to be Flynn Rider, getting to do all these really incredible jobs, I felt like I was a failure. I felt like I had failed in my whole journey of what it is that I was supposed to be doing. Even in moments like, look, I think Shazam! Fury of the Gods is objectively actually a better movie than the first movie. But a lot of people don't think so. No booing. But yeah, fuck those guys, right? I'm kidding. Oh my God, somebody's gonna take that video, by the way. They're gonna be like, snip, Zachary Levi hates people. Oh my God. Oh my God. I love you too. But in this moment, I was like, I felt really good. I felt bullish. I was like, I think if people like the first one that much, I think they're really gonna. And then it became this thing right now. And, so if you did like it, please go tell all of your friends and family. It would mean a lot. So this last week has been weird. It's been hard. It definitely didn't feel like it would hit the highlight reel, but it does. I think our whole life does. I think life is a miracle. I think it's an incredible blessing that we're even existing in this realm right now, this existence right now. And again, that's hard to take in sometimes. And I know that I'm literally standing on a stage. Woe is me. Look at me on this stage, all these people looking at me. So I know that I have so much privilege and platform that I've been given in my life. And it's very difficult sometimes to even allow yourself to be like, man, I wish that worked out different, or I wish things were better, or whatever. But I always just try to come back to humility, gratitude, and trust in my life, and recognize that I am where I am, and the fact that I'm even there is a highlight. But if you want to get into the specifics of things like, are you kidding me? I've gotten to be a Marvel superhero, a DC superhero, and a Disney prince. And I don't know a lot of other people that have gotten to do that. So,
theater was packed and there were awesome reactions. It was so much fun.
Right.
So I've got to say though, for a superhero movie, I always kind of wondered, there's a lot of special effects. There's stuff that's, gonna be put in later. When you're acting, how do you react to stuff that is not in front of you that's gonna be added later?
Like a drunk child. I mean, it's imagination. I mean, honestly, try to think back. When was the last time, and this is hard for a lot of us, for you, young man in the front row, you've probably been doing this very regularly, using your imagination. For adults, try to think back. When was the last time you had toys or action figures, and you were thinking about? Well, okay, maybe some of you did. Okay, we're out of convention. I get it. Anyway, but still, hear me out. Even with the imagination that we apply to these things that we love so much right now as adults, there is a level of full-on belief, faith, when you're a little kid, because you have not been jaded by the world. You are not cynical on the level that most of us adults kind of get to, because we've seen behind the curtain. We know how the sausage is made. Children are just eating the sausage and they're like, oh my God, this is the best. And you got your G.I. Joes and they're running up against Cobra, and you got the whole thing. I mean, I used to have zip lines that I made with my buddies, and we'd get our Joes and we would hit them on the zip line and they'd fly down. And you believed every bit of it. All of my Thundercats, all of my He-Man, all of my Transformers, all of my everything. All of those things, I just believed were happening in real time, in real life, right? So it's put yourself in that kind of a crazy mindset. That's what you got to do when you're looking at a big green screen and you got a director saying, and the dragon's coming at you, and you're like, oh my God, it's a dragon! You got to believe it. And that's the cool thing about being an actor, is that you got to believe that, whether it's a green screen or whether it's somebody standing in front of you pretending to be somebody else. You own it, you go there, you believe it, and that's fun. So yeah. It is. Yeah, thank you. Great question. Some of that is box office, which I wish we were doing much better in right now. But some of that is ultimately going to be home video and video on demand and all the other things, and like the first Shazam, for example. We did pretty good in the box office. We weren't like some massive success, but we did pretty good. But we did really well in the secondary markets, and because a lot of that is families who didn't end up going out to the theater, but instead waited. And by the way, now it's more than just families. We're all so accustomed to waiting for the streaming that it affects box office negatively, unfortunately. But if it's very convenient for people, I guess that's fortunate. I don't know. It's a weird place that we're in. So I would love to keep playing this role. I am literally paid to be an immature version of myself. It is, I highly recommend it, by the way. It'd be so much fun, but I have no idea. And I haven't had any conversations about it, so I'm just gonna keep living life and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. I've auditioned so many times. Just never give me a chance. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, there's so many great musicals. There's a lot of musicals that have yet to be written, and I would love to figure out whatever those roles are. I think I'm trying to think of. I mean, listen. When I was a kid, I thought being like Rum Tum Tiger would be a really fun role to play. Rum Tum Tiger? Rum Tum Tiger? Tugger. Rum Tum Tugger. Yeah. But based on the success of the movie, I don't know if that's really something I want to jump into. But I remember being a kid watching that on stage. I was like, that guy is really doing it. That guy is doing it. So I don't know. That's a great question, though. Harold Hill in music video, maybe something like that. Yeah. Yes.
My name is Celis. I'm from Iowa, and I just want to know, what was your biggest takeaway from playing Shazam?
I mean, the biggest takeaway from Shazam is the family that I made, the Shazamily, literally. I mean, all of those kids, all of their super counterparts, Marta and Cooper who play our parents. I mean, it is a really, again, I know. This might sound redundant and trite, but I mean every word of this. I think more than anything else, I was put on this earth to love people. I think more than anything else, I was put on this earth to bring joy to people. And so to the extent that God gives me the opportunity to be the lead of any set where I have now the responsibility, but with that the opportunity, right? With great power comes great responsibility, right?
Yeah.
We've learned anything from Spider-Man / the Bible. And I really believe that. And so that's the biggest takeaway, man. It's like there's people that I got to love on who became part of my extended chosen family. And I love that Shazam is about that. I love that it's literally one of the most representative films, superhero films certainly, but even just movies. And it's not even like forcing anything. It's all in the comics. It's just representing a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And particularly, there's these foster kids who didn't have a family that they could find, that they were born into, that they felt immediately accepted and loved by, but rather a family that they found outside of that chose them and that they chose. And by the way, we all do that. Even if you had a wonderful family that you were born into, guess what? You become 18, 19, 20, you're going off to college, you're going into the workforce, and now all of a sudden you're choosing who your fucking family is. And hopefully you choose wisely. Hopefully you're choosing people that are supporting you and holding you accountable, because those are two very important things. Anyway, yeah, so all those things.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.